Yo, what up guys, I'm Sammy and welcome back to the Soul Drop, and today we're going to be doing a very interesting versus video between LeBron James's shoes, right? So his signature shoe, which is the LeBron 20, goes for $200, and then the suede colorways go for like 210 bucks, which is really expensive. And of course we got his brand new kind of shoe line, which is called the LeBron NXXT GEN, which retails only for 160 bucks, which is $40 to $50 cheaper than his signature shoe. But then also the tech is extremely similar, like the traction even looks very similar. The cushion, where the zoom units are, pretty much the exact same. It's identical, which I mean, the position is a little bit different. And also the material super thin and stuff like that. So which shoe should you get? The LeBron 20, as you guys know, is an amazing performer. NXXT GEN also is an amazing performer. So should you save $40 and get the NXXT GENs? We'll find out in this video. If you guys do want to cop either of these shoes, I try to leave them link in the description box. But let's get it started off with the Tracciones. And like I mentioned before, the traction pattern is very similar, right? But the NXXT GEN is an actual map of Akron, Ohio. And then LeBron 20, I actually don't know. I don't think really it's inspired by anything, right? But the traction is really good. Top tier in both of these shoes. You don't have to break it in at all. It's good pretty much right out the box. So obviously the NXXT GEN, the colorway that I have is translucent, and then the LeBron 20, it's like a solid white rubber out. So it's kind of has like a purple or gray tint to it, but it's mostly white, right? So yeah, if you're playing on a clean court, amazing bite. It also has a very loud and high-pitched squeak for both of these shoes, which I also do like. Has nothing to do with performance as far as the squeak goes, but I like to have a nice loud squeak, right? So they both feel really good. As far as dust performance goes, I feel like the NXXT GEN picked up a little bit more dust for me. Maybe it's because it's a translucent, right? Translucent tends to pick up a little bit more dust, usually, like most of the time. So yeah, the NXXT GEN, I did find myself wiping a little bit more, but it's a very easy and light wipe. The LeBron 20 bites through dust. It's a really nice traction on a dusty court even. So I guess the LeBron 20 is a little bit better on dust, but the NXXT GEN is still really good. If you're playing on an outdoor court, I feel like they're around the same, right? The rubber hardness and the thickness, and then also even the pattern is very similar in both of the outsoles. So I feel like they would be okay, but they're pretty expensive, so probably not the best option to play on an outdoor court, but you should be okay as far as durability goes for the outsole. So they're both top tier tractions. They're both really good. It's just the LeBron 20 is a little bit better from my personal experience because it picks up a little bit less dust. All right, moving on to the heel to toe transition. Both of them are still very smooth, right? So here in the heel, we have pretty much a fully exposed midsole, and you have a nice rounded shape. Super soft here in the LeBron 20 because of the cushion. It's a really soft midsole. LeBron 20 also uses cushion, and it is, I guess, more exposed, but it actually feels a little bit stiffer. There's not as much compression, but it's still soft. You have a nice rounded shape here in the heel. In the forefoot, nice rounded shape, and look at that. It freaking bends a lot, especially here in the midfoot. So if you're looking for torsion support, the NXXT GENs definitely aren't the best option. The LeBron 20, we have a carbon fiber plate, right? And it doesn't bend nearly as much. So if you want that feel, and also you get a little bit more of that springiness, right? Then the LeBron 20 is a little bit better. If you want something a little bit smoother with a lot more flex here in the forefoot, the NXXT GEN is better. In my personal experience, they both feel nice. You know, if you want a super flexible sole, the NXXT GENs. If you want more of a springy, stiffer sole, then get the LeBron 20s. But the overall heel to toe transition for both of the shoes, when you're doing heel dominant strides down the court, they both feel very nice and very smooth. The LeBron 20 just feels a little bit smoother here in the heel because the cushion has more compression. All right, as far as the cushioning setup goes, like I mentioned before, it's pretty much the same, right? So the cushion, they're both using cushion, and it's really soft. I like how cushion feels, but like I mentioned before, the LeBron 20 is softer, especially when you get it at first. When I got it at first, it was even a little too soft for me, but cushion does bottom out pretty quickly, thankfully. So it's still really soft, but just not as soft as it was, right? So yeah, here in the heel, we got more compression. And then here in the NXXT GENs, it's a little bit stiffer, but there's still pretty nice compression here in the heel. But we have a top-loaded zoom unit here in the heel. So I needed to break it in, but I only needed to break it in for like a day. And once I did, I can feel the nice compression in the heel from the zoom unit, which felt nice. The LeBron 20 is bottom-loaded zoom, so you can't really feel the zoom underneath your heel. So that is a little bit of a trade-off, I guess. But I mean, you have more compression from the actual midsole here in the LeBron 20. So I guess they both feel nice. It just depends on what you like better. Personally, for me, I feel like I like the NXXT GEN a little bit better just because I like that like really soft compression underneath my foot from the Zoom unit. It's top loaded, and then also the foam is still kind of soft, so the next gen feels a little bit better in the heel for me personally. And then here in the forefoot we have Zoom Turbo. They both have Zoom Turbo and they both feel very, very nice. Bouncy, I would actually say the next gen I can feel a little bit more for some reason, but they're both, you know, you have nice compression, nice bounce. Impact protection, of course, is really good in both of the shoes. You still have pretty good court feel. You get that nice bounce in the forefoot from the Zoom Turbo unit. So they both feel really, really similar. It's just the heel is a little bit different. So yeah, they both have very, very nice cushioning setups. And now moving on to the materials. So I guess this is where the $40 difference is, but also the LeBron 20 isn't that much better for quality, which justifies a $40 price increase, right? So you have kind of like a woven material, and it definitely feels a little bit better as far as quality goes, but not that much better. It's just as thin, however. The next gen also is super thin. They're both conform to your foot extremely well, super comfortable in that way, and also they're both supportive, so they don't really like stretch out all too much. I feel like the LeBron 20 feels a little bit more supportive because it's not as like there's not as much stretch, right? And then here in the midfoot they both stay extremely thin, right? Same thing here for the next gens. The next gen feels actually a little bit softer. And then for the tongue, the tongue is pretty much identical as far as like they both have really minimal padding. They're both half booty construction tongues, which is good for giving you a better overall one-to-one fit. And then here in the ankle area, it's both very, very similar. It's actually identical, I would say. If you look at it, it looks like there are like holes in the actual like foam. It feels more like a memory foam. Like regular foam is just like soft and it kind of like rebounds back kind of fast, but the memory foam kind of like molds to the shape of your foot a little bit better and it feels a little bit softer. So that's very similar as well. So honestly though, like on foot, they both feel really similar, right? Super minimal feeling uppers, which feel comfortable and conform to your foot very well. The tongue feels very similar, and then the lining is literally identical. So it feels the same, right? So there's not really much difference as far as the material goes on foot and for performance in my personal opinion, but the LeBron 20, like I said, has a little bit better quality, but I don't think it's justified to $40 more. I mean, I feel like the next gen feels a little bit, it definitely feels cheaper, right? Especially for the suede material and stuff like that. But honestly, I don't really care all too much because it's a $40 price difference, which is a pretty big difference, and also it still feels nice on foot for the next gen. So there's that. Moving on to the fit. So they both fit very, very similarly, right? So I went true to size for both of them, and the LeBron 20 is actually like it's still really, really tight. And same thing with the next gens for length, right? So if you don't like that, then probably go up half a size. I like a really, really snug fit, so I was okay going true to size, but I feel like most people, it's gonna be a little uncomfortable, right? So I would suggest going up half a size for both of these shoes if you want like kind of a maybe a little bit of a looser fit. But if you are daring and you want a really snug fit, then you should be fine going true to size, just because it was okay for me, right? Also here in the toe box, it's super snug. I would say the next gen is a little bit more snug, but they're both a very snug fit here in the toe box. And then as far as width goes, they are both slightly narrow. As you guys can see, the LeBron 20 is a little bit pointier. It's a little bit narrower towards the tip of the toe, but they're both a pretty narrow fit. So both of the shoes fit me very, very well, and I like the fit in both of these shoes. And then moving on to support and lockdown. Support and lockdown also for me was really good in both of them, right? So lateral containment, I was good to go. Here in the 20s, we got the guardrail, this plastic piece coming up, acting as a sidewall a little bit. And then here in the heel, we have the foam coming up and an internal TPU heel count. So lateral containment, I was good to go in the LeBron 20, and same thing with the next gens. The next gen isn't as supportive here in the forefoot, but then I didn't have any terrible issues. I was good to go. I feel like if you're heavier and you need a lot of support, then probably go with the LeBron 20s. But I feel like for most people, you should still be fine here in the next gen, even for lateral containment. As far as the lateral stability goes, I wonder which shoe is wider. They're probably around the same. Yeah, look at that. Pretty much the exact same width. You're low to the ground here in the forefoot, so lateral stability was good for me in both of the shoes as well. Heel slippage though, I didn't really have any issues with heel slippage in either of these shoes, but I did have some of you guys sent me some like DMs and stuff like that, where the LeBron 20 kind of like, not heel slippage, but it fell off for you guys, which is weird. I didn't really experience that. You know, my heel felt pretty well contained in both of these shoes, so just from my experience, it was good. But a few of you guys have said that for the LeBron 20, so just be careful on that. So support and lockdown was good for me in both of the shoes. And now moving on to the weight, I feel like the next gen is a little bit lighter, probably because of the more minimal material. So 11.6 ounces. The LeBron 20 is probably like 12. yeah, 12.84 ounces, so it's like an ounce heavier. Not that big of a difference, but yeah, you can definitely tell like the next gen feels a little bit more minimal and also a little bit lighter. But not that big of a difference, and also they're both super responsive, especially the LeBron 20, just because the traction is so damn good. Same thing with the next gen. So when you're playing in both of these shoes, you feel very quick, responsive, and light on your feet, which I do like. Like amazing traction, cushion feels responsive, but with nice bounce. Materials are very minimal and stuff like that, so I really like the way these shoes felt on my foot. And now moving on to the ventilation, I would say let's say okay, there's pretty good airflow through the LeBron 20. Next gen, I would actually say the LeBron 20 has a little bit more airflow, but the next gen is like still super thin. So I feel like maybe the LeBron 20 is a little bit better for ventilation, but they're both pretty good for ventilation. So there's that. As far as the aesthetics go, ooh, I don't know, guys. What do you guys think? They're both really good. I feel like the LeBron 20 looks a little bit cleaner. But I still love the next gens, right? I definitely have to wait for better colorways of the next gen though. Not a huge fan of this kind of like blue and orange one. But anyways, I'd say I'd lean towards the LeBron 20 a little bit. Tell us what you guys think looks better down in the comment section below. So wrapping things up, yes, so there's not that much difference. I would actually say I like the cushioning setup a little bit more in the next gens because of the top loaded zoom unit in the heel. The traction is really good in both of them. Like they're like top tier. It's just next gen picks up a little bit more dust, but I don't really mind that all too much because it's super easy to wipe off. Very minimal feeling shoes. They both feel very similar as well on foot. So if you're trying to save money, yeah, 100% just get the next gens, right? And I guess if you're looking for like the better quality shoe with like better quality materials, but it's not that much better, especially for a whopping $40 difference, right? So then I guess get the LeBron 20, but performance wise, yeah, they're both very, very good top tier and super similar. So I guess like torsion support though, not the best, but like I said, for me, not a huge deal. So just get the next gens if you're looking for performance. But of course, you can't go wrong with the LeBron 20. It's still an amazing, amazing shoe, but it's just really expensive. So anyways, that about concludes this versus video. Hope this video helped you guys out. And if you guys do want to cop either of these shoes, I'll try to leave them free link in the description box. But that's it. Thank you guys for watching, and I'll see you guys in the next one.